on the oval having a kick to now vacate the arena. Thank you.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the North Hobart Oval, where we are into our fourth game of the day, and it is the Clarence under-14 Red up against Claremont Bulldogs in what is going to be a very, very interesting game. The boys have been on the ground having a very, very long warm-up. As we can see, the Clarence Red boys just getting ready for the national anthem. But the football today has been of a very, very high standard. We've had under 13 and under 14 girls, and then just a few minutes ago in the under 13 boys. Very, very skilled the way they've gone about it, and it's great to see that the ground's dried out for the grand final day in the Barwick's STJFL game of the day. And here we are with the under 14 boys as we're just waiting down to go to ground announcer Tony Gibson.
Patrons, welcome to today's Barwick's STJFL Grand Final Day. Under 14A1 Boys Grand Final between Claremont and Clarence Red. We acknowledge the traditional owners of country across Australia on which we play our great game and pay respect to them, their culture and elders past, present and emerging. I'd now like to invite all the patrons at the venue to be upstanding as we pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth II with a minute's silence. This will be followed by the national anthem. Thank you. All the best to the Claremont and Clarence teams and the umpires for today's game.
So we'll stay down there with Tony Gibson, who's going towards the centre of the ground with the captains for the toss of the coin here in the grand final in the under 14A1 division.
Tails called by Clarence, and it's a head. Claremont has won the toss and will kick to left and the Letitia Street end of the ground.
So there we go. Everything is in preparation for what will be a wonderful, wonderful game. Clarence, of course, they had a stellar year. Clarence Red, they were on 8 and 3, came up from third. Claremont were second on 9 and 3, and the other Clarence team, the Clarence Roos, were on top with 10 and 2. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they go about it. Of course, in the main commentary tower here, it's Andrew Silverfox Hopwood, and I'm very, very pleased to be joined by my co-commentators, Damien Gill and Andy Bennett. But Damien, this is one of the games I know that you've been looking forward to coming and having a look at.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for having us once again, Hoppy, here for a tremendous grand final day. And yeah, the ground's looking a lot better than it was yesterday. Sun-soaked home of footy. What a treat to be here.
It certainly is, and I know, Andy, you've already commented about some of the names that are playing. There are some names of some very familiar names for both Clarence and Claremont, whether it be a Gapin or a McCallum of all of these players who have played before. The Suns are starting to come through now.
Yes, we could add in on the Claremont side, Barwicks,
yes.
Lockleys, Besters, Camricks, all very well-known football names. Really looking forward to a wonderful contest. The spirit of these games, grand finals, have been fantastic. The style of game they played and the skills have really amazed me.
Yeah, very much indeed. So the boys are just sort of looking, the sun's out, just waiting for the umpires to get in their positions. Everything looks in readiness. The players are just swapping on their opponents, making sure they have the correct matchups. Of course, Coach Scotty McCallum and Gary Barwick are very wily old coaches, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about their work so far. Well, it is Clarence who get the first clearance, going towards their forward line. Going back and taking a very nice mark is Huey McCallum. McCallum, the skipper, always looks to utilise the ball well. It's a lovely drop punt, but there he goes again. One of the features of McCallum, he always runs to the contest as the ball comes out. There is Barwick. Interesting enough, the two are the prime movers. McCallum and Barwick have got their dukes on the ball already as Clarence shaped to spread that ball a little bit. Bulldogs go for a bit of a fresh airy. Close contest, scrappy here at the moment. Fighting very hard at the bottom there is Clarence. And the umpire's starting to circle, but he says, play it on, fellas. The ball's coming out. All of a sudden, now it is Clarence through the agency of Buffina. Can't quite get that one. Goes back in now. A quick handball. Setting up nicely. Long kick towards the goals. It's a 2-on-1, and the two win out as they spoil that ball. And so far, it's been locked inside the Clarence 50, Damien Gill, and they've got their hands on the ball nice and early.
Yeah, good start from Clarence. Winning the territory game, that's for sure. They'll be hoping to put it on the scoreboard. Draw first blood in this under 14A1 boys grand final.
So it is a boundary throw in. In they go. The ruckmen go up. It was McSpadden for the Roos. A good cut of the lad who tried to get it out. Always loved the first stages of the games, Andy Bennett, as we cast our eye out. Have a look at the openness of what lay behind. Everyone's just trying to get their hands on the footy, aren't they, early in the stages of the grand final.
Get engaged, get yourself involved in whatever way you can. Pat on the back, get a contest, lay on a tackle. Great to get involved.
So there is the throw in. It is the Dogs who get it. Clarence draw first blood. It is a minor, and it is an opportunity now for the Bulldogs to take possession and clear that ball. Out they come to the broadcast side. Go on the left foot. Oh, hook that kick, and that was a clever kick as they came back inside to Rosinski. Rosinski now. It's this next one. It was slow movement, so it allows Clarence to set up really nicely, but brilliant mark there by Barwick. And this is the young fella. He won the best player in the league last year, and he was second this year, so we know he's got some talent, as that was a strong mark down on half back by Schnitzer. Schnitzer right up the middle of the ground. All players are getting in amongst it. There's a tight contest now. It was Vermey for Clarence, who was the last one to take possession of the ball, just rolling now. The Dogs can break. Just need to tap it out clearly now. They can. Well played there by Clarence to dispossess the running and the raging Dogs as they can't take finesse of the ball. little bit scrappy here at the moment. It's almost like a pinball in there. So if they can just boot that ball out nice and wide. There is Gapin, who's out wide. He gets that quick handball. Now it comes inside. Some of the big man down there are front and centre. It was Mapley. Ball's in dispute. Held up in the contest. Scrappy old kick. Comes back over the back. Got to be careful here, do the Dogs, as that was well played by Thompson. He's dispossessed, and that's a really nice tackle there, Gilly, by Huey McCullum. He does it all. He was down and low and provided that forward pressure.
Obviously won himself a Beakley for his performances across the season. He started this game with real intent. Looks the player that could carry Clarence over the line.
So it is McCullum. Of course, the player there, he's got himself into a little bit of trouble, but he's good enough to get round. And then he poises and puts that one through. So excellent work there by Huey McCullum. I thought there for a minute, Andy Bennett, that his good work might have come undone, but he knew exactly what he was up to.
Well, that's it, and he knew himself. He knew he was just beyond his distance. He knew he had to take it on. He had real confidence in his ability. A little while ago, we were calling it was held up in the centre of the ground. There were 32 of the 36 players inside that centre square. No wonder it was hard work.
So let's have a look here on the Mood Food replay. He went back around. Defender, you can see, just sort of skipping and just got around him there, Gilly, didn't he?
I
just
thought the
got out of trouble.
Did a reasonable job at first glance, but McCullum just too good in the finish, able to steady and get the first goal for Clarence. Just rewards for their start.
Okay, so again, that ball going forward now for the Dogs, and that's a brilliant, strong mark taken by Lockley. Lockley, this would be a bit beyond him, I would have thought. Here he goes.
Ooh.
Oh, as I said, beyond him. He's kicked that 40 metres, and there, standing in front, taking that mark, is Hunter Camerick. And Camerick, he's only a little rooster, but I tell you what, anyone who wears pink boots, they're in for a big performance, Gilly. It's making a statement as they come through. And Hunter has gone bang through the big sticks. And the little fella I thought might be there just for the fall of the ball, Andy Bennett, but he read that one the best.
And the interesting bit of that, we didn't think he was the kicker. Who kicked it in?
Hunter Lockley.
Hunter Lockley kicked in. None of us expected him to kick at that distance except Camerick.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone underestimated.
It's a really interesting thing, Gilly, isn't it? You have to understand the capabilities of your teammates, and that's the advantage that you should have. So in that, like what Andy said, you suddenly go, oh, beauty, Hunter's got this one. Yeah. I'll actually go back.
Yeah, correct. Camerick was onto it in a flash, and it wouldn't be too often, Hoppy, you'd call two Hunters.
Yeah, I agree.
One kicking to another. They're in the hunt now with that goal.
They certainly are. Well, I can say that's my debut of Hunter to Hunter. And it is the Dogs up and about in that game. So as we had thought, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very, very interesting game. It'll be an arm wrestle. Who can stay in the game the longest? That was Norman who kicks that ball. There is the goal scorer yet again. It is Camerick who provides a very, very nice tackle. And wrapping him up was Billy Richmond. And it'll be another ball up. Tapped out wide. Fighting very, very hard. And Clarence, that was nice work there, just to get that ball round the boundary line. Good, strong tackle. One of the other interesting things, Gilly, that I've noticed is the variance in size of the players. You got some fellas are somewhat small in stature, and then you got these monsters who are 6.5 feet tall in this division.
Yes, but we've already seen so far a couple of diminutive players stand up, so size, I guess, isn't everything.
No, it's not. It's just where they're at boys of this age. Because,
yeah.
you know, some develop earlier. You know, I've said it before. I've mentioned it. My dear old mate Bert Woods, who had a full beard at under 10s. And then you've got some people who, like Huey McCullum as an example, is a very small fella, but his brother Tom, just a few years older, is 192 centimetres. So who knows through those differences in growth rate as the ball came in and trying to mark that one was Hutton, but he did a good job to spoil it. So we are 8 minutes in to the grand final in the Barwick's STJFL Under-14A1 division. If it's anything like the Division 2 grand final, which was on a Friday night, which came down to the last kick of the day, we are in for an absolute beauty. And one expectation is these two teams are very evenly matched. Bulldogs just get back off the kick. goes forward. It was Camerick again. That was Lucas Camerick this time. And it's been deemed to be a push. And that's going to go to Luma. Luma for Clarence. Gets the fist in it. Punches towards the line. Bulldogs are there. They pick that one up. That was McNamara. Goes back inside. Has to be a brave player to stand underneath that one. Clarence take a bit of a scrappy kick. Comes out towards Tommy Gapin. Gapin goes inside. Well picked up there by Barwick. The big fella's just roving around. He's a bit of a Rolls Royce, and he takes possession, and he'll go a give and go. He's one of the players, Andy, that they'll look to spot up at every opportunity here, so keep your eye on him, and well played there by Benjamin Barwick. But that kick has gone offside, and Tommy Gapin, this is his 4th possession already, so he's doing a nice job. No one's on offer. So goes the long one, and that's probably not the kick, Gilly, that you would do there when you've got someone like Barwick patrolling around there.
Certainly not, and he'll be hoping to go one better with his kick this time. Just misses the target. Got a real contest on our hands here.
Yeah,
Hoppy, very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, very much so. And that, I reckon, I just saw the runner come out, and Tommy Gate, he's a ripper of a boy. He normally uses the ball so very well, and that's the one where they'll probably lower the eyes and tend to spread and use the ball a little bit more when they go inside their 50 instead of that long one, because Barwick will go and try and fill that hole as the Dogs get that one with a long bomb towards the wing. Nicely trapped out there. That was by Hunter Camerick again. Attacking on the ball, solid performance, just trying to get the tap over there. So that was Preshaw, in and under. Strong couple of tackles in there. Scrimmage in play. Still quite soft just under there, and the boys are doing a good job. Now gets the handball out. That was Rosinski. Clarence have the ascendancy through Jackie Vermey, who gets the ball back inside. Turned his back on that one, so the Bulldogs will be able to kick that one out. And there is Gapin, who's playing on the wing position and doing a nice job. And it's really crucial that if you're in a certain position like that, that you hold your real estate and don't get drawn into the contest. And that's why he's got the possession so far, as Clarence just pushed that one out. It was Mapley goes further afield. Here is McCullum, who's down there. He's just beaten to it by weight and numbers there. Bulldogs fighting hard to hang on. It's nearly 11 minutes gone, and here they go. Handball to another. Scrappy affair, but they get it out towards that wing position. Nice hands as it comes out now towards Walters. Walters goes inside, and the Bulldogs are starting to take that one.
A lot of pressure in this. There's very, very few uncontested delivery of the ball.
Yeah, I was interested, Gilly, it was in the under-13 in the girls, it was a really, really open, and then the under-14s, it became contest to contest. These two teams like to play away and spread the ball, but so far they're doing a good job, aren't they, to keep the ball in.
Yeah.
It'll open up.
Pressure of a grand final. You'd like to think as they feel themselves out and the game settles, we might see a bit more of that open play. I
reckon we will, as that ball now does come in. There is McCullum. He has no one to go to, so he just handballs over the top to give to the advantage to Boventura. Boventura's there to provide a shepherd, and that's nicely tackled. The umpire says, play it on, fellas. Wait till the whistle goes. I'll be the one who officiates. You just get the onion as McCullum goes into an area of danger, and there is Camerick back down there. Well, some of the players, I'll keep your eye on that, fellas, that must be doing the old-fashioned changing from the pocket as well, Gilly.
Yeah, they are working both ways. Yeah, we saw not long ago young Hunter Camerick up the other end kicking a goal and doing the goal-saving efforts at the other end. Good to see.
I like it when that happens, to be honest, when you do change. I mean, come off the ground as well, but when you change on the ground, it does confuse sometimes defenders, as Clarence now wheel and go with a long kick. That's sort of not suited, but there is McCullum at the foot of the ball, very creative, and it'll be forced through for a point. I'm interested, Andy, to watch on those forward entries. Normally, Clarence are the ones who run the ball through 50 and then look to spot somewhere instead of that long kick to a contest, where I think the Dogs are doing a great job so far forcing that long kick.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit to do with the final. They're just feeling the pressure, that little extra sort of pressure to make a decision a bit too quickly. And whoa,
there he is.
He can play.
Huey McCullum. He doesn't need too many possessions, and he was in the right spot at the right time. very, very good skills. He had to be clean of hands there, Gilly, didn't he? And he snapped that one through for a lovely goal.
That was sharp footy. They had the kick out. They'll be disappointed with this, the Dogs. They couldn't clear the danger. It came back in, and yeah, Huey McCallum's just not the type of player you want to give a sniff, and that's all he had here. He pounces on the footy, you'll see on screen. One quick whiff of goal, and he takes his chance, and that's his second for the day, and they need to put some time into him, Hoppy, if they're going to win the contest, the Dogs.
I agree, and you were just pointing out something there, Andy.
I just really like to have Flynn Preshaw under the pack. Clean grab, good hands, set up the goal for McCallum.
Certainly did. So the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard shows us that Clarence are 2-2-14 to the Dogs, 1 goal straight 6, as McCallum has taken himself into the centre of the ground. That's more the Clarence I know, looking to spread there to Gapin. And Gapin, again, he's smaller stature, but that's a terrific tackle by Gapin. Gapin goes back inside trying to kick that, didn't get the purchase on the ball. And chipping in, taking a mark is the Bulldogs. Kick it long to the wing position. They do go up. The big fella came out. It was Hunter Lockley. Big spoil by him. You know he's a big kick. It is on the wing position. There was Johnson who missed that one, beaten to it. And the Dogs with a late surge inside their 50. They try and get over it. Here comes Barwick. Barwick falls over. McCallum there. It comes to the back. All but held. He just can't quite get the handle on it. They're trying to force the pressure. And they do so. That's a big, strong tackle being applied there by Rosinsky. But just taken a little bit too high, I think. Oh, you can see there, just a little bit too high. And I don't mind that at all, as long as the umpire's consistent, and they will be on paying the man going for the ball. So it is the Bulldogs. 1 goal straight 6 to Clarence, 2-2-14. For Clarence, the goal kickers, it's 2 goals to Huey McCallum, and for the Dogs, it is Hunter Camrick. But Gilly, what did you like, and what do you sense out of that first quarter?
Yeah, I think Clarence are pretty good value for the lead, albeit Dogs nearly could have pinched one late there and it'd be 2 points in it. It's a terrific contest, and I sense that it's going to go deep, this one. Clarence may be just a little bit more polished when they get the ball on the outside, but we haven't seen too much of that so far, Hoppy. It's been quite contested. And I think as the game opens up, Clarence will be able to get their prime movers involved and maybe just look a little bit too good for the Dogs, but a good contest so far.
Yes, Andy, it certainly is that Clarence will want to get it to the outside, and I know that coach Gary Barwick will say, let's try and get it to those contests, and they've got some big, strong forwards down there and little blokes like Hunter Camrick that can rove it. So it's a very interesting game already so far. So it is Clarence with their noses in front. Quarter time here at the home of football, North Hobart Football Ground. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the second quarter very shortly.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
best bakehouse, delicious in every way. Loving the taste, love it homemade, their own recipes, freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse, love that homemade taste.
Welcome back here to the North Hobart Oval. Is the grand final in the under 14 A1 division of the Barwick's Landscape Supplies 2022 season. Very nice ball up. Shark there by the Roos. McCallum, who's on the ball. He normally goes between midfield and then rotates deep in the forward line with a lovely entry, and Charlie Ford has taken that mark. That was a lovely kick there, Gilly.
It was fantastic use, but really good presentation from Ford. Came out, arms outstretched, took a good grab, and now an opportunity to finish off.
So Ford, we can see here, he's going to have to kick this from 45. He's given it a big roost. It's just pushed the side. That's terrific defensive work there by the Bulldogs. I think that was Shupp who come across doing the discipline thing, got the fist into it and went straight for the boundary line. So they have to hold on here, do the Dogs, get themselves back in the game. When we say back in the game, it's only a goal, but they have had limited opportunities in their forward 50, and at the moment Clarence have probably looked a little bit more polished in the early stages of the game. That was Mapley, dispossessed. Ball comes out wide. Good contest there. That was Bester for the Dogs. It's been deemed to be a throw, and it's a free kick here to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs now looking to make an assault. Goes directly down the line where a big pack is formed. Strong tackle. I guess from that kick there, Gilly, that when you're that deep, I suppose that's not the time to look laterally, but I reckon that's what they'll need to do to open the game up.
They're going to have to take it on, aren't they, and take some chances against a team like Clarence that have looked really good thus far. But I have liked the defensive intent of Claremont. They've held them up nicely.
Yeah, it was really amplified by the big spoil by McNamara that just drifted across the pack nicely and was committed to the contest. As there's Riley Walters, one of the co-vice captains, getting it deep into the attacking area. Well played there by the Roos, just trying to spot one of their forwards in Charlie Ford, but can't get it to him. And again, it is another ball up.
This quarter's just opened like the first. The territory-wise, it's all been forward of centre for Clarence, and that was the difficulty for Claremont in the first quarter. I think they had 3, maybe 4 50 entries.
I'd love it if they can get hold of the ball now, come towards the commentary tower, because it's really nice and open. Take a chance. Is going for the man to create some space. Good hands, gets the handball further afield there to Thompson. This is a dangerous kick. McCallum was there, he just goes off the ground, goes as far as Donaghy. Donaghy was beaten with lovely spoil there defensively to Clarence inside their 50. And the Dogs are hanging on there. They just bludgeon that ball with not a great deal of system just to get it out of the area of danger. As Bailey Johnson picks that one up. Johnson goes in. Plenty of big numbers there for the Bulldogs. They're under a little bit of pressure as the handball by Lucas Camrick went out towards himself to go back in to get it again. That was nice play. Aarons is there for the Dogs. This time they get it forward. It is Piera who picks it up, doing a nice job behind the ball. Good shepherd. That was nice play as well by Brian Piera. And it comes back to the Roos in a bit of trouble as the tackle has been applied. Tommy Gapin was there, he's beaten to it, that's this time. I reckon if we could line all the Bulldogs up, Gilly, that they probably stand a little bit taller, got some bigger players. Not that that matters for too much, as we can see here at the bottom of the pack. It is stacks on the mill. It's what you do with the footy.
It's a good point you raise, though, Hobby. They do have height at their advantage, and they've got to find a way to get that height into the game and make the most of it.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the terms that I know that Coach Barwick will try and implore. That's seen them go so well through the season that far. It is stacks on there. I've liked the work there of Piera, but he can't get the ball. Staying in front was excellent work there by Ackroyd. Now there's a running race. Swift work there by Walters. Comes back inside, and this young man, Piera, is getting a little bit of a use of the ball, but it's McNamara mopping it across half back. But it's that release ball there, Andy, that's problematic for the Dogs.
Well, just every kick they can bring out of defence, and even through the midfield, seems to be under pressure, either rushed, either it's a product of their head or the great work, what's inside their heads, or the great work of Clarence.
Well, here they go again. So they do get it out from deep, but Clarence have got all the run, bring it back in as they set up absolutely beautifully. So they are under pressure each time they're there as Aarons gets it, and there's that quick kick. And again, Clarence go the fist, and they've got people backing each other up as Johnson. But this time it was well done. Trying to affect the spoil. Going back in to get it was Hunter Lockley. We know if he gets it, he's on the wing now, Andy, but I reckon he can roost it into the square. He's a ripping big kick, and it's a stoppage now with 5.5 minutes gone. And I have to say, Gilly, this game is being played a lot differently what I thought, given that I've seen a lot of these two teams, and it's always been open and free-flowing, but that's what can happen in grand finals.
It's cagey start to the game. You'd hope it opens up a little bit more. The Dogs are just a bit tentative with the ball, and it's playing into Clarence's hands at this point in time.
Yeah, it is, and that's nice pass by foot. So it's Callum Donahue who goes back. That kick wasn't to anyone's advantage if you're a Clarence player, and playing across halfback is McNamara, who's been good and solid. He's a strong rooster. Barwick is playing now across halfback. And that's the challenge to Coach Gary Barwick. Normally you'll have Benjamin Barwick in the middle of the ground, but he's sort of placed on a half-back to stop the run. But that is Camrick. We know him from his familiar pink boots, but that quick kick, and they're coming back with interest. But here's an opportunity for the Bulldogs. They get it inside their 50. Martin's running to the ball. Martin picks it up, screws back towards the goals. It was sort of spinning a little bit too far, but that looked a lot more dangerous on the setup, Gilly.
Yeah, it did, and it was really good team play. I think it might have been Shoop, number 9, who came across, applied a little punch to put it into space. And yeah, it was better from the Dogs. They need a few more looks like that if they're going to get back in charge of this contest.
And there's good reward for being under the ball by Tommy Gapin. Gapin, he's a no-nonsense sort of fella, just rolls the sleeves up like he does and gets in and gets the ball. He always runs well and has his eyes up, looking to bring his teammates into it as the Dogs handball to themselves. Here is Barwick. He's a rip and kick if he can get free. He can't this time. Goes back again. He's just patrolling that as Gapin just sort of drifting across that half-back line. Here come the Dogs again. Rosinski just cannot get a clean possession, and that pressure was mounting. Here come the Dogs. They spread that wide, and Barwick this time has got off the lead, and he got in front of Tommy Gapin, and that's his size and stature, Andy Bennett. The challenge for coach Gary Barwick is he needs 3 or 4 of him.
Where do you put him? Back in defence on the ball. Right, and he covers a fair whack of ground. He has a red-hot crack. That's the quickest they've got the ball into forward line, and that would be a result of Barwick being there. They were really confident to kick it to him.
Very much so. So now all eyes on Benjamin Barwick. Certainly got the distance in front of him. Goes back, just drills that one. Gee whiz, Damien Gill. I love it when you see a forward just go back with supreme confidence and put it straight over the head of the goal umpire.
Confidence, the word. The approach from the very second he took the ball, he just looked like he was going to nail that one. And beautiful kicking action straight through the middle, exactly what his team required. And now there's only a point in it.
Well, the thing is, Andy Bennett, is where do you play him? That's the decision on coach Gary Barwick, isn't it?
It's an interesting observation that for all intents and purposes, Clarence have pretty much owned this game, but now there's 1 point in it. How does that happen? Because kicking the goals is the only score that, and the only thing that only stat that really matters.
That'll give him some confidence.
And they've put Barwick into the middle now, so he's got the hot hand, and they've put him on ball.
Okay, so there is the ball up. So he's shown his hand as Gary. His brilliant pickup by Benjamin Barwick, and you can see by that kick, he's a long kick, but I reckon what I'd like to see, Andy, is when that kick comes in, just maybe go for a little bit more space.
Well, I would say if you're going to be critical, and it is hypercritical, that he doesn't look all the time when he kicks the ball from the middle of the field.
Yep. Yeah, he's a beautiful kick, so if you can maybe, I reckon, just take a few extra metres, run hard, and then you give yourself a chance to lift your eyes a bit. And then going back is Aarons further afield, but here is Gapin. Tommy Gapin drives that in. Like that kick was to space to give the forwards a bit of an opportunity to run onto it, but they can't do so. Now the game's opened up for the Dogs as they pick this one up, coming around that wing position, coming back inside, and a strong mark taken by Wickham. That wasn't an easy mark at all. It was a fast ball. Well, just as I pump him up there, Gilly, that was an absolute Barry Crocker of a kick, but luckily the Dogs are able to just take their time and bring this ball out. Long kick down to the wing. Went up, tried to take it on the chest was Austin. A bit of pressure being applied there by the defender in Flynn Preshaw, was able to spoil it. So what have we got? 10.5 minutes gone in the second quarter of the under-14 boys A1 division in the Barwick's STJFL Grand Final here at North Hobart Oval. Strong contest as Pereira ends up with the ball. Good contest by the opposition as well in Jones as the ball is thrown up. See McCullum just patrolling there, trying to run through. Oh, that's nice work by McNamara. Loved the way he raised his hands. Good work there by Camrick. Big, long kick. Talking of which, there is the other Camrick. He was pulled off the ball. Big chance for the Dogs as they screw this one around. Which way is it going to bounce? Bounces back, and Clarence are able to run back and defend and pick it up. And that was nice play then with the clean hands, as it only comes out as far as Benjamin Barwick. Barwick, long, raking kick. They need a mark, and look at the Dukes. The big fella goes up, Oliver Hall, and snatches that one out. And that was a nice kick that particular time, Gilly, by Benjamin Barwick.
He's been marched to the square, so it's going to be all but a certain goal. It's a funny game, footy. just not long ago we were talking about Clarence's dominance, and now the Bulldogs putting through a certain goal to take the lead.
Well, there you go. Clean hands was the order of the day as Barwick took that very, very good mark out wide and a long kick. And then the big fella, Oliver Hall, was there, and I just had my head down. Just tell me, what was this 50 metre for, gentlemen? Was it some descent?
I reckon, I think it would have been descent.
So I noticed here the young fella wasn't too happy.
Yeah.
But I don't think the umpire's made his decision there. So he must have just sort of kept on with it. Yep, he said, no, I've had enough, son.
And I don't agree with him disputing the umpire's decision, but I reckon he had a fair slice of the first mark.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Bennett would have been, he would have gone crook at the umpire there, Gilly. No, I don't mind. You just got to be really internally angry, Andy, aren't you? And you just can't show it these days. Yeah, very much so. Just like that, the Dogs have got their noses in front, and they do look dangerous, Damien, don't they, when the ball goes direct?
The fast footy that we've seen in the last minute or two, it's a completely different Bulldogs outfit.
It is, isn't it? And this young man, Barwick, is providing the drive for them. It's not a one-man show, but he's been good, and he's got plenty of supporters. That's a beautiful tackle there by Austin, and it's a free kick.
They're certainly playing with a renewed confidence, aren't they? They're up and about after Barwick's gone.
And there is Camrick. Oh, sorry, Lockley. I apologise. Hunter Lockley gets it in towards the big man. And that was Barwick, who was about 4 deep, but he came through and he let his opposition know who he was playing against. Now into the last minutes, the Dogs trying to be direct. Clarence need to hold on. Barwick's going to be down there. This time he couldn't quite bring that one in. Goes to go and get it again. Quick kick, and the Dogs are there. He just says, hang on a minute, I've got this one covered, as Barwick ran by. And it's Shupp who goes back. And as you just said a minute ago, Gilly, it's been all the Dogs.
The game has swung dramatically.
And Shupp has drilled that through. But the interesting thing is, Andy Bennett, as irrepressible as the Bulldogs have been, they've been good enough to finish off their good work with goals.
Absolutely. We keep saying the big stat that counts. And that luck's a fortune.
That was the old reverse talk.
And they have a crack at it. But the fascinating thing in our game, isn't it? Just how it ebbs and flows, and confidence, and a little bit of luck, a little bit of bounce.
Well, in the last game, as we recall, Lindisfarne were in it up to their ears, but they just couldn't get the goals when it was in that final third. Unlike now, the Bulldogs are making every post a winner. So that's been the difference so far. That's I've really liked this young fella here, Pereira. He's been very, very good, but unfortunately for him, that kick's going to be far too wide for him to score the goal. So it is half-time, so no goals in that quarter to the Roos, as we have a look at the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which shows Clarence a 2-2-14 trailing the Bulldogs 4-1-25. Great efficiency there by the Dogs. And the goal scorers, it's Shupp, Barwick, Camrick, that's Hunter Camrick, and Oliver Hall. And for Clarence, it is 2 goals to Hugh McCallum. So, Gilly, the game certainly did open up, and when the pace got on and the entries for the Bulldogs were deep, they looked very dangerous.
They did indeed, and they started to make use of their height. They've got quite a few weapons across this lineup, and they put a few of them forward, and it made a lot of difference, because when they attacked the ball with confidence, put it inside 50, they knew the big men would bring it to ground or take the marks, and they looked a different team entirely, and they take a really healthy 11-point lead into the half, albeit they were the second best team for large portions of that first half.
Yep, I agree, but as you said, Andy, you've got to make the most when you get it forward. So what do you see when you look at this game? Any positional changes, anything you would do from a coaching perspective?
Well, I think a winning change from Gary Barwick, coach of Claremont side was he used Barwick really well. When he went into the centre, he immediately won a centre clearance, and then when he went forward, took that big mark. He probably should have clunked another one just after that. You haven't seen him drop the ball. So how he uses how he uses Benjamin Barwick, his son. I assume it's his son. It's going to make it. It's going to have a big impact. McCallum went out of it. I think your best players really have a big impact on the game. He only had a couple of possessions, I think, and then under pressure he turned one over, which was very much unlike him in the first quarter. So they would be big decisions they need to make. I would be saying, if I was on the back of Claremont's performance so far, if I was Gary Barwick, just have confidence in yourself to use the ball well, play on quickly. It was very much a grab, kick it under pressure. Back yourself in a bit, make some smart decisions.
Oh, well, I agree. So it is half-time here at North Hobart Oval. So as we go to our break, again, we acknowledge and thank our very dear friends, Barwick Wholesale Retail Landscape Supplies, IGA, where the locals go, over 88 shops in and around Tasmania. Your Hobart Health, 71 Bathurst Street. They've got doctors there up till 10 o'clock, 7 days a week. Don't go down to the cold old corridors of the Royal Hobart when you can go to our friends there at Your Hobart Health. If you're needing to fuel up, Bennett's Petroleum is the one that fuels all of us up, so go there. Mood Food and our very dear friends from the home of the tandoori chicken pie, best pie in Australia, Brighton's best bakehouse. It's a half-time break, and we look forward to bringing you all the action in the second half very shortly.
The player that could carry Clarence over the line.
So it is McCallum. Of course, the player there, he's got himself into a little bit of trouble, but he's good enough to get round. And then he poises and puts that one through. So excellent work there by Huey McCallum. I thought there for a minute, Andy Bennett, that his good work might have come undone, but he knew exactly what he was up to.
Well, that's it, and he knew himself. He knew he was just beyond his distance. He knew he had to take it on. He had real confidence in his ability. A little while ago, we were calling it was held up in the centre of the ground. There were 32 of the 36 players inside that centre square. No wonder it was hard work.
So let's have a look here on the Mood Food replay. He went back around. Defender, you can see, just sort of skipping and just got around him there, Gilly, didn't he?
I
just got out of trouble.
Did a reasonable job at first glance, but McCallum just too good in the finish, able to stick.
A little rooster, but I tell you what, anyone who wears pink boots, they're in for a big performance, Gilly. It's making a statement as they come through, and Hunter has gone bang through the big sticks, and the little fella I thought might be there just for the fall of the ball, Andy Bennett, but he read that one the best.
And the interesting bit of that, we didn't think he was the kicker. Who kicked it in?
Hunter Lockley.
Hunter Lockley kicked in. None of us expected him to kick at that distance except Cameron.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone underestimated.
It's a really interesting thing, Gilly, isn't it? You have to understand the capabilities of your teammates, and that's the advantage that you should have. So in that, like with Antest, where I think the Dogs are doing a great job so far, forcing that long kick.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit to do with the final. They're just feeling the pressure, that little extra sort of pressure to make a decision a bit too quickly. And, whoa.
There he is,
he can play.
Huey McCallum. He doesn't need too many possessions, and he was in the right mounting. Here come the Dogs. They spread that wide, and Barwick this time has got off the lead, and he got in front of Tommy Gapin. And that's his size and stature, Andy Bennett. The challenge for coach Gary Barwick is he needs 3 or 4 of him.
Where do you put him? Back in defence on the ball. Right, and he covers a fair whack of ground. He has a red hot crack. That's the quickest they've got the ball into the forward line. And that would be a result of Barwick being there. They were really confident to kick it to him.
Very much so. So now all eyes on Benjamin Barwick. Certainly got the distance in front of him. Goes back, just drills that one. Gee whiz, Damien Gill. I love it when you see a forward. Bounces back, and Clarence are able to run back and defend and pick it up. And that was nice play done with the clean hands, as it only comes out as far as Benjamin Barwick. Barwick, long, raking kick. They need a mark, and look at the Dukes. The big fella goes up, Oliver Hall, and snatches that one out. And that was a nice kick that particular time, Gilly, by Benjamin Barwick.
He's been marched to the square, so it's going to be all but a certain goal. It's a funny game, footy. Just not long ago we were talking about Clarence's dominance, and now the Bulldogs putting through a certain goal to take the lead.
Well, there you go. Clean hands was the order of the day as Barwick took that very, very good mark position, know who he was playing against. Now into the last minutes, the Dogs trying to be direct. Clarence need to hold on. Barwick's going to be down there. This time he couldn't quite bring that one in. Goes to go and get it again. Quick kick, and the Dogs are there. He just says, hang on a minute, I've got this one covered, as Barwick ran by. And it's Shupp who goes back. And as you just said a minute ago, Gilly, it's been all the Dogs.
The game has swung dramatically.
And Shupp has drilled that through, but the interesting thing is, Andy Bennett, Azira pressure. So we're back here at North Hobart Oval, the home of football. The sun is still out. A few clouds just sort of coming over, but the conditions are very, very nice as the umpire holds it off. Ready to start this third quarter in the under-14 A1 division of the Barwick's STJFL. Clarence want to get their hands on the ball. They'd like to get that first one. If the Dogs can get it, I reckon they'll grow in stature, as Barwick, who's been very good, gets it out towards running players. That was Laycock. Couldn't pick the ball up on that particular time, and it's a quick up and under, and Barwick goes back and takes a very nice mark. He's been very good today, hasn't he, Gilly?
He has indeed. That kick into the danger zone.
And there is Lockley. Lockley, a quick kick, a chance for the Dogs. Just panicked a little bit there. They had a little bit of time, but I'll put that down, Andy, to lack of communication. That's where you've got to be strong on the talk.
Yeah, they're under pressure at the moment, right? The question's been asked of Clarence. They probably played the best football in the first half, but they're still behind, so under pressure.
Okay, so the ball does come out. It was Martin who was tracking that one. And we can see it up here in the Peter Sharp Tower, Gilly, that it's quite predictable, but you've got to stop it, that when the Bulldogs get it, they are really going direct. And it looks like as well, I think that might be Donahue who's trying to put the clamps on Barwick, trying to get inside his head and go nice and close, and Barwick's just playing that kick behind the ball. The other big fellas in Lockley is there to get his hands on it. Doesn't evade that, so it's the inside out kick. That was by Lucas Camerick. And I could get a sense from you, Andy Bennett, the old coach, and you coming out there, you'd just like to see him go on the wrong side of your body. But with the modern style, that's what they do, don't they?
I'm just going to say, actually, I've shifted a bit on that.
Yep.
Now it's kids try that.
Yep.
And they know they're better on that side, and they're more practice at it, so why not use it, I suppose?
Yeah, you're right. He just didn't straighten himself up enough, but a good forward thrust again by the Dogs.
Good tackle.
There's a good tackle there, Gillian's. Tommy Gapin, who's racking up possessions, but it's a quick kick, and already Bailey Thompson just goes nicely behind that ball, comes in, and the jack in the box is Aarons. Aarons starts looking laterally to Camerick. Camerick, he needs to shimmy. He's on the wrong side now. You're in trouble, son. Get the handball away to Bester. Bester is beaten to the ball that particular time as Huey McCallum goes in, and he is rewarded. Is it McCallum? No, it's, there's an argument.
It's going to be a 50, I think, there, Hoppy. Terrific defensive work from Clarence. It looked like it was going to be a certain Bulldogs goal. They're playing confident footy, Bulldogs, and they just rose at the right moment there, Clarence, to deny them. Gee
whiz, that's costly as that ball is taken right up the other end of the ground. Real estate's been hard to own if you are a Clarence player, and Tommy Gapin is there to pick that one up. And Andy Bennett, I tell you what, when they say sometimes that meterage is very expensive, well, that has cost them 6 points and momentum in the game.
Yeah, and the 50 metres is it's obviously major. But I'm going to pick up on Damien's comment. Callum Donahue, I think it was, laid on that tackle way back inside defence, didn't give up on it, and that effectively resulted in the goal.
So very nice work by the Roos. It'll be interesting to see the demeanour of their bodies now, Gilly, because that can really turn a game. Just simple things like that.
Absolutely, could light a fire underneath them, and good reward for Tommy Gapin. Right place, right time, but he's playing a hell of a game so far. Been Clarence's best player, that's for sure.
I agree with you there. So just when we thought that the Dogs were going to score and go forward in this one, Clarence have really come back hard as Vermey goes up in the ruck, and you can almost sense their body language now after getting that goal. They've got a little bit of belief as McCallum is there. McCallum goes in, and that's a terrific mark. It's almost like a Ricky Ponting slips catch at second slip there, the way he went back. So nicely done by the Bulldogs defenders. Barrel-chested, comes right up to some of their other bigger fellas there. Barwick can't bring that one in. Goes back, and that's a cracker of a mark over the top by Billy Bester.
Good name too.
Isn't it? Don't you love Big Billy?
Tell you what, this boy has a good set of hands, Hunter Lockley.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Good kick on him.
He does do. Someone's been held. Oh, just over the back. That might have been Hunter Cameron. Oh no, he's just pushed aside. I don't quite see that one, Andy. Did you get a handle on that?
No.
I just wasn't quite sure, but anyway, whatever it was, I'm sure it was there. The ump was right on the spot, so they're doing a really good job today as well. We've been most impressed. So it is the third quarter here. It was Gapin who got that one, turned his man inside out. Ball goes end over end. Backing back is Luima. Luima gets the handball. He's very strong of body, and they're starting to run it and gain some confidence, is the Roos. And just as I pump them up, that one has gone a little bit too wide, and the Bulldogs are going to take the free kick as it's gone over the line, and there we can see the worrying brow of coach Scotty McCallum. I reckon he'd be most impressed, Gilly, of what he saw just a few moments ago by his Chargers.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly that nice little spin on the outer side by Tom Gapin. You love seeing moments like that, junior footy.
Yeah, very much so.
Flashes of brilliance.
So the standard so far has been very, very good here today. It was even started with such a high stand in the under-13 girls game. That was a cracker of a game between the Dogs and the Tigers, as there is McCallum starting to get his Dukes on the footy. They're running in some numbers here, are the Dogs. We'll know this will be a big, long kick to the open expanses of the North Hobart Oval. Running hard, but numbers are behind the ball. And Clarence picked that one up. Go towards the wing position. Dogs here. Here is Barwick. Needs some help. Held without the ball. It's a tight encounter there. They've obviously put the squeeze on him. Here's your mate Gilly coming out. Couldn't quite bring that one in as the whistle's on play. And just a little bit untidy the last few patches, Gilly, by the Dogs. I'm not sure if there's panic, but just a little bit untidy.
A little bit over-exuberant. You just wonder, they came into the sheds at half-time with a lead, and whether they're just feeling a little bit nervous with how proceedings have started in this third stanza.
Okay, so Martin, long kick, looking for Hunter Lockley, and why wouldn't you? We know he's got a great set of hands. Martin is at the front and the centre, but he's not going to get past Jackie Vermey, and he's put a stop to that. So it's with 7 minutes gone. The ball's on the forward 50 for the Bulldogs. Big tap out by the Roos. Good hands there by McCallum. Only goes as far as the Dogs, and they're in the ascendancy here. Really good play by Lucas Camerick. He appeals for the free kick, but it's gone against him for a very, very nice tackle there by the defensive work by Clarence. They go the spread, but it's marked there by Rosinski. Rosinski shimmies, goes in towards the goals. And the sticky Dukes of Lucas Camerick have gone up and taken a very nice mark. He took that one, Andy Bennett, right at the top as he possibly could, in between 4 Clarence players. That was a cracker of a mark.
Terrific mark, but well done. Rosinski, was it? He kicked the ball in.
Yep.
On with it quickly. Good mark over the back.
So Camerick goes bang and puts that one through. And I tell you what, Gilly, that'll be the steadier that this team needed, because just for a few moments there, they looked a little bit shaky.
That's it. They'll just eases the pressure valve a little bit, doesn't it? It just rewards, I think, for a concentrated period of pressure in their front half. Really, really nice work by Lucas Camerick. He's taken a couple of good grabs so far in this term, but none better than that one. Good quick ball movement over the back. Look at that, beautiful stuff, and well finished off. Yeah,
it certainly was. And they've got a few good targets down there. So we know that Hunter Lockley can take a mark. Lucas Camerick can prove, and also Gary Barwick has been afforded to put Benjamin Barwick down there, depending on where he's playing. There's 3 of them that can take a bit of a mark. Then they've got to work out the challenge of who gets it down to them. It's the ball comes straight out of the middle, and that's a good mark there by Thompson. Thompson, he's a little roosted, but by gee, he's got some toe. Thompson with a lovely kick to the big fella, number 30, that's McSpadden. I reckon McSpadden will be 2 of Thompson. Goes into the deep, into the square. good spoil again. That was Laycock who's down deep. McCullum, he's hunting the ball. He can't pick that one up, but I tell you what, anytime he gets near the ball, Gilly, he always looks dangerous, doesn't he?
Yeah, the defenders around him just look nervous.
What I reckon is that you sort of sit towards the edge of your chair when he sort of hovers around the ball, because you think, here he goes again, something is going to happen. And this time it wasn't doing him any favours when someone was right on his hammer, and he was easily tackled, and it'll be another boundary throw in.
Well, the Bulldogs are hyper aware of where he is around a stoppage.
Yeah, they are, and they have to, as just tracking the ball. He's got loose. We can see that from here. Quick snap on the goal. I think that's a goal to the Roos. And it is. Nice work. I think, I think that might be Luma. Xavier Luma. No, it isn't. It's Boventura. By gee, that was a really good goal. We'll have another look at that one again on the Mood Food replay. It was number 18, who was Thompson, who was right beside him. And then he just lost him there. He picked it up quickly. He just was able to get that, probably 1 metre, Andy Bennett, wasn't he? He just pushed off his man Thompson and turned that ball into a goal.
Terrific snap, terrific ruck work, got it to the back.
Yep.
Into the open space.
Once you get it to that open space, it's very, very dangerous. So have a look here. We've got 11 minutes gone, and the game is finally really, really opening up. McNamara takes possession for the Dogs. It's that quick kick, and Clarence looked much better now, just starting to steady. Big, long, raking kick as it comes in with Vermey, and this young fella, he's got one of my famous numbers of 43 for Carlton, the big coup to Feedy's, and he's gone out there, Gilly, and he's shown a few minutes ago how he was good below his knees, and he was a jack in the box. Look at him getting up there.
A confident leap.
So Boventura going back and just gets it to the inside, but again, he's another one of those players, Andy Bennett. You just sort of sit forward when he gets near the ball. He doesn't need to get a lot of possessions. He's an exciting player.
Yeah, and they'll go at him with confidence now, and he's going about it with confidence. This guy's been good.
That's Lumia. Lumia driving it back in. Great fist there by Laycock. Bludgeons that ball down, but it was Hurd who was at the front of the pack, and Lloydie just missed out on that one as he came in. You can just see here as it came down, here is Hurd running towards the ball. He goes down, and once he's up against someone like Benny Barwick, he's on a hiding to nothing on that one, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
Injury concern just here, Hoppy.
Yeah, I think it was just sandwiched, wasn't he? He went underneath Hurd as Barwick sort of bumped over the top, and you can see the sense of Coach Gary Barwick. So let's hope the young fella's okay, whether he's either winded or done something to the ribs, but it's good that I think Snowy's out there, and they won't take any risks if there's been a head or neck injury. They just sort of take their time here to make sure that the player, well, he's starting to move now. This is good signs. So he's up and about, I think holding the back there, Andy, so he's probably just going to come off and have a spell. I thought for a minute there he was...
He just generally got squashed.
Yeah, wind out of his sails, wasn't it?
Yeah. And isn't he a terrific operator, Snowy?
Oh, yep. No,
he gives a lot to football.
So I think the clock has stopped. I'll stand corrected on that. So normally how it rolls, it is no time on, but the umpire has the capacity, if there's an injured player, just to signal to the timekeeper to stop the clock, because it's most important that the player's welfare is looked after. So as one of the combatants leave the field, we get underway again with the boundary throw in. Dangerous area for the Dogs as Clarence picked the kick, and what about that snap by Charlie Ford? And that was the inside-out kick, Andy Bennett, that we spoke about just a few minutes ago that they like to do, and Charlie Ford had no space at all and is slammed it onto the boot for a much-needed goal to the Roos. Let's have a look at this one on the Mood Food replay.
Watch the ruck work, he just gets to the right spot again.
He was surrounded by Dogs.
That's a crafty
wasn't
finish.
It? That was a very good finish, Gilly, wasn't it? You can see there, and He's put it through, so the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard is reading the Bulldogs 5-2-33 to Clarence now 5-3-33, 1 point in front.
1 point in it, and it's been a seesawing contest. Enthralling game.
Very much so. I tell you what, this young man is doing a great job. Jack Vermey in the ruck, giving first use of the ball.
He's got on top there, Hoppy.
He has, mate, hasn't he?
And he's swung the game.
Yep, I agree. So it'll be interesting to see what Super Coach Gary Barwick has in mind, whether Benjamin, who normally plays that ruck roving role, would you give him a bit of a run and see if he can't tap the ball down? We'll see how that goes.
Owns it.
Yep, he does.
He's dominating.
He is dominating, and he's giving first use to some of the smaller players from the Roos. Now it goes back. Here goes Clarence again with not long to go. They've got a chance. Look at this. It's a 1v3. Good punch there. The little fella goes out. Well done by Thompson. He's terrific. Goes back inside. There's plenty of red Guernseys around there. McCullum. He's in and under. That's good play by Aarons, but beaten to the ball again by Walters. Walters was that quick kick, and it goes off the side and then out of bounds. He's another one, Gilly. Riley Walters, the vice-captain, who's got plenty of the ball as well.
Had some really nice moments.
Yep.
Showed some poise at key times. So, yeah, I've liked his game.
Yes, some of the big crowd that's been here. Terrific to see so many people coming to watch the local footy. Being pinned for holding the ball, and the man that we just were talking about, Gilly, Riley Walters, will go back after the siren, and this, Andy Bennett, in the scheme of this game, is a very big kick.
A massive kick. Fascinated by the ebb and flow of this game. But Clarence have really owned the last 10 minutes, probably the second half of this quarter.
So Walters goes back, and you can see what that means as all the players get up and around him. And Gilly, have a look at the difference in the body language as Clarence come in. You would have thought they just kicked the winning goal in the grand final, where all of a sudden the Dogs aren't sprinting in, it's sort of just jogging in. So it is all before them. It's certainly not over. The Dogs are a crack of a team, but they just have to get back to utilising their strength in this next quarter, don't they?
They do indeed. You can see the energy just feeling its way through this Clarence group. They're up and about. They've clawed their way back into the contest. In fact, on top of the contest, a 7-point lead. And as you said, they just look a bit bereft of confidence on the other side of the ledger, Claremont, after doing so much good to get on top in the game. Now they've got to find a way to find that groove again, find their game, get their tools back into it and play some of that fast footy that saw them get on top.
Well, sport's fascinating, and I guess it's easy to say, but what has to happen is they come in and I guess the terminology is reset. Forget what has happened, because you can't affect the past, and it's concentrating on the now and what you can do. Don't dwell. And I guess that's what Coach Barwick will try and tell these boys, that they've been terrific and stellar throughout the season. They didn't finish second with such a wonderful record. They just have to trust the process of how they've gone through. So just confirming there at three-quarter time, it is Clarence with that last goal who have edged up to 6-3-39 in front here at this stage of Claremont 5-2-32. So we're going to go for our last break here in the under-14 division of the Barwick's STJFL season. And don't go too far, because we're going to bring you all the action of the last quarter in just a few moments.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, after-hours Dr. Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr. Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So it all comes down to this. It is the last 15 minutes of the season for the boys in the under 14A1 division. It's been a very, very interesting game. All of a sudden it looks like one team's going to get the slip on the other, and then the other one wrestles it back. And just after the siren goal there to Clarence was absolutely crucial, as some important moves have been made, and the first one is Barwick, who's been put into the ruck. They need him to have a cracker of a quarter. We know how he goes about his work. He's very good, and there is McCallum, the Beakley Award medal winner, gets the first forward entry into the ground this time. Big end-on-end stuff, backing back with the ball. Dogs have to be careful here. They can't allow Clarence to get that first goal. They're fighting very hard. It's in an area that they don't want it to be. It comes over the back. Oh my goodness, within the first seconds of that play, Clarence have got that goal, and the way that ball bounced, Andy Bennett, it went from right to left like a Shane Warne leg break, and it's gone through for a goal for the Roos. As we see here, I think that was young
Pereira.
Boventura, was it, or Pereira?
Oh, it was young Pereira just off the back of the pack here.
Oh, he's a ripper. Yep, now there he is in the long sleeves.
Number 11,
yeah, there he is there. Yeah, I got mistaken because it was Boventura who was the one doing the bullocking. Then it came out the back to Pereira, who's been so good, hasn't he, Gilly?
Been terrific, held his space well on that occasion, just held back from the pack and was there and did the finishing off. A really nice snapping goal.
Yeah, Cooper Laycock did the right thing.
Yep.
Got back in as the goaltender, if you like, but just didn't get back far enough when it cleared his head. And
just cleared his head. So here come the Dogs. They are irrepressible. They've been terrific all year, and they are really working hard to try and get their hands on the footy now. It's a tight ball, and that would just be the start that they... Coach McCallum would have been absolutely dreaming of it. Couldn't have scripted it better for him, as the big man Vermey just reefs it out of the ruck. Comes down to their forward line now. They're starting to grow a leg, as that was all but thrown. Lucas Camerick gets the ball. Just has to rush that one quickly. Now it's in dispute. Picked up by the Roos. Quick hands. Doesn't go to anyone particular. It's a hard ball to win in there. They go up, coming out, all but taking a strong mark. The Dogs need to get a wriggle on. They do so. They get it to the wing position, but Clarence are running back in numbers. Well played by Walters. Walters quite influential in today's game. He's been terrific as McCallum got the ball, and a big, strong tackle. How'd you like to be on that one, Gilly? That was a ripper from Rosinski.
Yeah, Rosinski knew he was coming. He spun there, McCallum, but he spun himself into trouble.
Yes, no, he's a wake up to what Rosinski was here, and here is Barwick. Hasn't been able to pick it up yet, so he's tapping it to his advantage. It'll come up in a minute. That was excellent play by Benjamin Barwick. He gets the old give and go to his teammate there in Camrick. Very, very good play by him. Goes out wide. Here is Gapin. Gapin, who's had really good passes of play right through the game. Comes back towards Richmond. Richmond gets it in towards Pereira, the young man who got that goal just a few minutes ago. He's there. He picks it up. He's dropped it. Big, long kick. Just pushes it out wide to McNamara. McNamara goes in. He goes back inside. That's a great handball. Rosiski's bet. It really opens up the play. It's a long kick. They haven't got anyone bigger. That was brilliant the way they brought that to the ground. Snapping towards the goal. They just needed an ounce of luck. But I tell you what, Andy Bennett, that was just wonderful, wonderful play by the little fella. I think that was Hunter Camrick,
just
to bring the ball down.
Yeah, just to make it a contest.
It was funny, actually. He brought it down to big Hunter Lockley, who almost got the roving goal, but that was terrific play by him. So now the Roos take it out from their defence. Clears the 50. Got the numbers there, have the Dogs, and it's seen over the boundary line. So just for a minute there, it was a big opportunity to score for the Dogs, and they just didn't have the luck of the bounce of the ball. Whereas a few minutes ago, it just bounced very, very truly there for number 11, Pereira, for Clarence. So already it's 4 minutes gone of what is 15-minute quarters. Lovely work. Comes over. That's Vermey, who is there at the bottom. Gapin fighting hard, still pushing his way through. Quick left-footed kick. Oh,
courage.
Great courage there by two players who just understand the circumstances of what is on the line here, as they went directly at the ball. Kicked out wide towards the boundary line. Good contest again there by Rosinski and Jack Vermey. And it's been a boundary thrown, but you've really liked the way that Jack Vermey has given first use of the ball to the Clarence little players. Andy.
Yeah, he's been skilled right from the start. He's very, to grab a term, very articulate with his hands. He's very smart.
Very good indeed. So the Dogs need things to go their way. They need a couple of goals to draw even. Clarence at the moment just seemingly have the answers. But that's terrific play, picking that ball up, going forward. Almost a mark taken there by the big fella for Claremont. Can't quite bring it in. It comes in and just holding their position, doing a really good job. I think that was well done by Richardson in the deep of defence. Big, strong kick out. Hunting that one low is Charlie Ford. He's a big fella there, but he's roved the pack. In fact, that's how he got one of his goals when he roved the pack. It's very close to the line. In fact, it's gone over, and it's just unbelievable sitting here, Gilly, when you consider, I know you're in the north of the state yesterday watching a grand final, but when the SFL, it was raining, it was miserable, players were sliding around, and we look out there now at the sun field and all that mud. It's sort of giving, dry weather footy.
It is dry weather footy, and the Dogs in with a sniff here inside forward 50.
They certainly are, and one of their prime movers, Hunter Lockley, is just trying to push his way forward. He just can't get his hands on the ball. I think Clarence are doing a really good job just to bottle this one up at the moment. That's the sort of thing they'll be happy with, as it is a ball up. Again, Vermey, one of the tallest on the ground. But it's the Dogs who come out. This is a chance to Barwick. And as soon as that was kicked, Andy Bennett, and I looked who was there, and I thought, oh, they're a big chance.
Put down your glasses almost. He's just very, very good above his head. He works hard.
He does work hard. So, Gilly, to state the very, very obvious, I think young Barwick needs to go back and sail this one through the big sticks. So here he goes now. It is Benjamin Barwick, who took that very, very strong mark. And you can see he's going to kick from about 20. He's normally a good kick, and it might be from an easy angle, Andy Bennett, but that is a very tough kick.
Yeah, it's mentally it is, emotionally. But what I really like about his kicking a goal, he kicks it low and hard.
Yes.
Very direct. Doesn't have to lob it up. He just is very confident in his ability. Squared his shoulders up. did everything right.
Well, we can see now, Gilly, that Barwick has stayed down there at about that sort of 25 metre out from goal. Very dangerous position as far as he's concerned. And I think Hunter Lockley has gone in to the ruck. So I don't mind that at all.
No.
Those two big fellas changing positions.
They're key players, prime movers for their side. Big kick, Lockley, if they can win it out of the middle. Here he is.
Here he is. So he was at the bottom of that pack. Comes out, and the Bulldogs end on end. That'll bounce up. You watch this ball. There it goes now. About every third time it bounces, it goes up and over. Gapin is there. Goes the handball. He needs to go back and kick it up, and you can see already the intensity has lifted up here for the Dogs. They've got some belief, as that is a quick kick coming out. Barwick is running for it, and Barwick has got it. Gee, that was some courage, Andy Bennett, running the wrong way.
Terrific, and it has a major impact in this game. That's obvious. But what's it, Lockley? Hunter Lockley,
Yep.
just as we said, he just gets it on the end, or picks up one and whacks it hard, direct, long. That's courage. You don't know what's coming. He's a big boy, but you have no idea what's coming the other way.
Okay, so we are right in this one, Gilly, as we see Barwick going back now. This is a tough shot. He kicks. It's coming back. Oh, he's put it through for a goal. Oh, what a cracker of a game, Benjamin Barwick. I'm just looking at him now. I think he's got about 17 players on his shoulders. He's saying, come with me, come with me.
Oh, he's dragging them there. If the last one wasn't a captain's goal, that one certainly is. Scores are level here at the home of footy. What a contest we have, Andrew Hopwood.
Oh, look at that kick. That was a cracker. And as you said, Andy, he kicks low and he kicked through the ball.
Yeah, confidence.
Well,
Belief.
what a fantastic day we are having here. We have been treated to some wonderful contested football, and it comes down to the last 5 minutes of the season. Which team wants it more? It just swings from one end to the other. It's so hard to pick. Clarence now trying to get their hands on the ball, but it's the Bulldogs who come out held without it, and they're going to take the free kick. At the moment, Gilly, it seems like momentum is actually with the Dogs.
Yeah, they're surging right now, the Dogs.
And they're taking advantage of it. As you can see, Barwick just sort of cruising up alongside there, so it's got a Clarence player loose at the back. In dispute now. Comes out, running hard toward the ball. I think that was Wickham. Stacks on the mill. Here it comes now. There is the big fella there. Hunter Lockley is just circling under a fair bit of pressure, and Clarence just get rid of that one and get it out of their defensive 50. Good hands. Got to get it on their boot quickly, and Clarence decide to rush that ball. It was Woodbury back there. Woodbury goes the very quick kick. It's going towards the line, and in fact it's gone over. So it's a free kick there to the Dogs. Maybe, Gilly, it's easy from up here and up in the Peter Sharp Tower, but just to settle that one down to make sure you do a nice kick.
Need to take some heat out of the game if they get possession here, Clarence. He's been too big, too strong.
Okay, so Barwick goes the long stick. It's looking for Camerick. Camerick is on the lead. He's been overrun by, excuse me, the defenders. So the ball's coming back out with interest. Goes towards the boundary line, and again, it's going to come back to the Bulldogs. They've got players in the middle if they run off, but he decides just to take his time, and he'll probably go down the line, and I reckon you'll be looking for Barwick, one of the big blokes there. Oh, it is Hunter Lockley who comes out. Well played there by the Roos, just to socket that one up. The race is on, picked up by the Dogs. They go inside, there a chance here, but brilliantly done there by Gapin. Gapin gets back. Small in stature, but goes onto his left side of his body, and a big mark there taken by the Bulldogs.
Push. Yeah.
Oh, Pereira's ball, pushing the back.
Oh, McCallum gets the ball. He decides to run round now. Oh, he lowers the eyes and he comes in short to Vermey. Vermey goes off the side of the boot. Who's got the pace? Running very hard is McSpadden. McSpadden picks it up. A point will do at this stage with only a couple of minutes left as it comes back in.
Smart
and marked by Boventura. So that mark by the Bulldogs on the wing, which turned into a push in the back. Damien Gill was crucial in this part of the play.
Absolutely crucial, and a really smart kick to find Boventura. Could have aimed at goal, could have gone long, but he just cut it off nicely for Boventura to size them up.
Boventura goes back, just pushes it to the near side, so the door is very much ajar.
The other important kick in there was Huey McCallum when he brought it inside, took the risk.
He did take the risk, so the Dogs are quickly getting back now. So what have we got? Less than 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes, and so they decide to play on.
Route 1 football here.
Here they go, out towards Barwick is at the front. He picks it up. Big, long kick, screws it around. Oh, good bump. Nicely played there by Norman. Ball is loose. Here come the Dogs. They are surging. Who have they got down there? Clarence have got the numbers, but brilliant tackle run there by the Dogs. Oh, the Dogs are on the surge. Their big players are running.
Wait till you get Barwick forward.
Here they go. Oh, it's dropped short. Wouldn't believe it. So Clarence are there. They can't get the kick out. And that could just about all but do the game, as that was a scrappy old kick. They're into the last minute of play. They had a little bit more time, I reckon, than what they thought. And Clarence are able to get it out, as all of a sudden now it is back to the Dogs. They do get a kick. It has to go very right for them, Hinners. We're down to the last 50-odd seconds of play. It's close to the boundary line. It's off hands, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Just for a minute, they had time, Andy Bennett.
They did.
What a tackle
more time than they thought. Great chasing tackle. Great chasing tackle.
So what have we got? We're inside the last 30 seconds of play. 1 point the difference. So the Dogs need to get this one out. They've got all their prime movers on the ball, and that is an absolutely crucial kick. They've got to go quickly. 20 seconds. And the ball's on the other side of the fence. They'll play on now. Here they go.
Roll of the dice.
It is the last roll of the dice as they kick. Oh, it's spoiled! Smothered! We'll talk about 1%ers. That's the most important smother of that young man's career, Gelly.
Extraordinary. And there it is!
Wow. They've won by a point, ladies and gentlemen. What a cracker of a game. You wouldn't believe it. That was a fantastic game of football as we just regroup here to look at the Brighton's Best Bakehouse. It is Clarence 7-4-46 to Claremont 7-3-45 in what has been an absolute thriller, Damien Gill.
It's one of those games where neither team really deserved to lose. They both applied themselves so well, and they lost no fans today, the Bulldogs, the way they went about it and climbed their way on top. But Clarence showed some ticker just to get the job done, and some important involvements late. None more important than that smother right in the dying stages.
I love that that's happened there, Andy, because normally you see it's a clever goal or something, but it's a smother. The old 1%er that can actually win the game. And
just moments before that, what could have turned the game around when Claremont run from behind, chase down, tackle, could have turned it around. What a wonderful game. That just delivered excitement. It had everything, contest, great individual highlights, great teamwork, capacity to use the ball under pressure, kick the goals. That was exciting. Genuinely exciting.
It was genuinely exciting. I don't know about you guys, the old veteran Silver Fox Hopwood. I'm exhausted after that one. That was a cracker. So let's have a look here. Huey McCallum got a couple. Pereira, Tommy Gapin, Riley Walters, Boventura and Charlie Ford, and Benjamin Barwick with 3 goals. Lucas Camerick, Hunter Camerick, Oliver Hall and Lucas Shupp. So that was a wonderful, wonderful grand final. I know it's sometimes a bit twee to say no one deserved to lose, but no one deserved to lose. That was a cracker.
No, it was what a well-fought contest. Played in the right spirit. So many good players across both teams and across all lines. Well done to everyone involved, and well done to Clarence in just doing enough in the end.
Okay, so we'll cross down to the ground now, where we'll see the presentation of the medallions to the winners and the Premiership Cup.
ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about everyone else, but an old veteran, I'm just taking a big deep breath. That was one of the most exciting games of football that you would ever want to witness. And again, what about a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for these wonderful players from the Bulldogs and from Clarence. Please give a round of applause to all these players that done such a wonderful job. Talking of wonderful jobs, if I can thank our umpires, and Lynette, if I can please pass the microphone over to you to present the medallions to the umpires in this grand final.
Congratulations to both teams out there. It was a very exciting finish in the end. Commiserations to Claremont and congratulations to Clarence. Our field umpires officiating today are Orlando Archer and David Monks, emergency Mark Holmes. Boundary umpires are Nathan Woodbury and Sam Smith. And goal umpires Dylan Scott and Jeff Hall.
Thank you, Lynette, and thank you so much to our umpires. If I do glance over here, we see the Bulldogs team, and I can see you look a little bit sad there, Gary. Mate, I'm going to ask you to come forward. You are a cracker of a young man, Gary. Can I please ask Gary Barwick to please come forward to have a few words? The coach, and a wonderful coach of the Claremont Bulldogs and very dear friends and partners of Duff TV, mate. Congratulations on a great performance. It's hard to swallow now, but I'll pass the microphone over to you, mate.
Thanks, Hoppy. Yeah, it's a bit hard to talk. I think the heart's just come out of the mouth now. So that was a real cracker of a game to Clarence, to Macca and the team. Look, fantastic effort, boys. 1 point in the grand final. It couldn't get a better feeling from your end, okay? So well done, great season. And the fact that Clarence had 2 teams deep into the finals is only, it paints a pretty bright future for the club. So well done to the Clarence. To our boys, look, it's understandably that you're disappointed, but rest assured you're winners to myself and to every other supporter that you got here, boys. So look, chins up. It's a game of footy at the end of the day. You've got a really bright future ahead of you, so well done. And lastly, thanks to the umpires and the sponsors for the game. Look, I really appreciate it. It's been a fantastic spectacle, so thanks a lot. See you next year.
Good on you, mate. Really well done. Thanks so much, Gary. Now, if I'll ask Jim Horn to come forward to present the medal for the best on the ground. Our judges found this very hard. It was a tight contest, and in the end, they've voted the best on ground number 23 for the Bulldogs, Benjamin Barwick.
Firstly, well done to Clarence. You boys were very good today. And well done to the coaches. And you boys, you were too good for us in the end. And to our boys, we worked our asses off this season, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done in the end. So well done.
Well done, son. Congratulations on a job well done. And now I'm sure we'll see a smile on this man's face. If I can please ask the winning coach, Scotty McCullum, please, to come forward. A big round of applause, please, for Scott, a great coach and mentor to these fine young men from the Eastern Shore. Congratulations, Scott.
Thanks, Bobby. Cheers, mate. Good on
Well
you.
done indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, look, thanks very much to Claremont and Ben. You know, we envy you blokes. I think over the last, since under 8s, I reckon that we've had some terrific battles with you blokes, and you know, you've always been the pace setters, and you know, we were so envious of you guys last year getting here, and you know, we sort of lucked out a bit in some conditions and didn't get a chance to have a crack, but you know, still to this end, you fought it out. And to come away, and I get it, it hurts with 1 point, but it was a great game, and I think everyone here should give everyone a round of applause. So well done to Claremont. You know, to my boys, you know, again, as I said, so disappointing the way we went out last year. we knew with Claremont obviously having a couple of teams and going to one, they were going to be tougher to beat again. We had to do a little bit of recruiting over the off-season, and we picked up a couple of fellas who really stood up today as well. So to my boys, and look, I'd also just like to say to Daniel Archer and the Clarence Red team, Clarence Roos, my apologies. It's bloody tough. I mean, two teams. It's two sets of jumpers. It's training times. It's all those things that go unnoticed. And to have two teams basically represented in a grand final and a prelim final, to the Clarence Roos, well done, boys, on your year as well. To the STJFL, I know it's we all try and have our bit to say at times, and you guys just, you keep turning up. And, I know it's been pretty tough with weather conditions, obviously, throughout the year, but, the work that you guys do behind the scenes, it doesn't go unnoticed. We really appreciate what you do for us, and otherwise we wouldn't get a game. So thanks to the STJFL. Also to the umpires, again, you guys just do a terrific job every week. You turn up and, we take our hats off to you, and we really appreciate it. So thanks very much, everyone. Yeah, well, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, no, all good. Okay, so if these boys could come and get their medals. Number 1, Lloyd Hurd. I'll keep rolling through them. Number 3, Willie Richmond, great game. Number 5, one of our captains of the team, Hugh McCallum. Number 6, and look, probably the game-saving smother over on the wing there in Kanga, mate. Well done, buddy. Terrific. Number 11, all the way back from Malaysia, Brian Piera. Number 15, all the way back from the Snowfields, Didier Schnitzer. Another one of our captains, Tommy Gapin. Number 19, another one of our leaders and captains, Ricey Walters. Great game, mate. To this fella who had a bit of a mishap recently at school, broke his collarbone, but number 21, Nashi Byrne. Well done, buddy. Number 25, I say to this bloke every week, if I could pick one kid in the whole competition, line them all up along the fence at school, I'm picking this bloke every day of the week, Callan Donoghue. And I might add, this guy's not in any of the development squads either, so that might be something to note, please. Number 27, Flinny Preshaw. 28, Dylan Anderson. I don't know how this guy got through it, but look, he's had a really tough couple of weeks, and somehow I found out on Friday that he was going to be cleared and he was right to play. But Ollie McSpadden, mate, well done. Number 31, the Terrier, Kane Earp. I thought, I reckon it was a toss-up between Ben and this bloke today, but this guy, he's come to the club for us, and outstanding today in the ruck all day, buddy. But Jack Vermey, great game. Number 35, Maxie Haywood. Again, this guy I think's worth special note. He went to Queensland this week and won the national title in the triathlon. Saw pretty tired legs today, Jackie Woodbury. Well done, mate. So rat for this guy, number 41, Xavier Luma. Another one of our pickups halfway through the season. Never played footy before, this bloke. All of a sudden turns up and he's in the grand final. Well done, Fernando. Number 44, I call him the silent assassin, Jacob Richardson. Hey, this guy, he came up with one today. Pressure makes diamonds. Hey, you won't forget this one, Bales. Well done, mate. Terrific. 52, our swing man from defence to forward, Charlie Ford. Great game again, mate. And this fella, he's only a little bloke, but geez, he bats above his average for us, and he's I love him around the group. Well done there, Levi. Yep. And last but not least, Texie, come forward, mate, and grab a medal as well, mate, if there's any left. Well done, buddy. Texie Greg. Yep. You're done? Sorry, guys. Taking a bit of time.
Yeah, come on, give me that microphone back. You want to take over, son. So don't go too far though, Scotty, because there's one for you as the winning coach. If you come forward and get that one around your neck, congratulations, Scott. And if we can have the captains come out with the coach, please. I think Hugh was one. And if they come forward and the coach, if they present what you've been after, boys, which is the cup for being the champion team in the under-14A1 divisions, the Clarence Football Club. There they are, ladies and gentlemen, your premiers again in the under-14A1 division, Clarence Red. Congratulations, Clarence. Well done indeed.
Now it is back to the Dogs. They do get a kick. It has to go very right for them, Hinners. We're down to the last 50-odd seconds of play. It's close to the boundary line. It's off hands, and it's going to be a boundary throw in. Just for a minute, they had time, Andy Bennett.
They did.
What a tackle.
More time than they thought. Great chasing tackle. Great chasing tackle.
So what have we got? We're inside the last 30 seconds of play. 1 point the difference. So the Dogs need to get this one out. They've got all their prime movers on the ball, and that is an absolutely crucial kick. They've got to go quickly, 20 seconds. And the ball's on the other side of the fence. They'll play on now. Here they go.
Last roll of the dice.
It is the last roll of the dice as they kick. Oh, spoiled! Smothered! We'll talk about 1%ers. That's the most important smother of that young man's career, Gelly.
Extraordinary. And there it is.
Wow. They've won by a point, ladies and gentlemen. What a cracker of a game. You wouldn't believe it. That was a fantastic game of football. As we just regroup here to look at the Brighton's Best Bakehouse. It is Clarence 7-4-46 to Claremont 7-3-45 in what has been an absolute thriller. Damien Gill.
It's one of those games where neither team really deserved to lose. They both applied themselves so well, and
now it is back to the Dogs. They do get a kick. It has to go very right for them, Hinners. We're down to the last 50-odd seconds of play. It's close to the boundary line. It's off hands, and it's going to be a boundary throw in. Just for a minute, they had time, Andy Bennett.
They did.
What a tackle.
More time than they thought. Great chasing tackle. Great chasing tackle.
So what have we got? We're inside the last 30 seconds of play. 1 point the difference. So the Dogs need to get this one out. They've got all their prime movers on the ball, and that is an absolutely crucial kick. They've got to go quickly, 20 seconds. And the ball's on the other side of the fence. They'll play on now. Here they go.
Last roll of the dice.
It is the last roll of the dice as they kick. Oh, spoiled! Smothered! We'll talk about 1%ers. That's the most important smother of that young man's career, Gelly.
Extraordinary. And there it is.
Wow. They've won by a point, ladies.